You guys know me, I don't rush my reviews out the door. I try to take my time and give every weapon a fair shake. And this week I racked up several hundred kills across half a dozen different perk combinations on the Jorum's Claw, and I have decided that it is a jack of all trades and a master of none. Is it a bad gun? No, not at all. Is it a great gun? No, not at all. You can build it a few different ways to fit different purposes, but it's altogether pretty limited by a number of factors, including its limited perk pool, the weaknesses of the archetype, and the fact that it cannot be crafted and requires you to farm a limited time event in order to get it. We'll get to those three primary ways to build the gun in a minute when we talk about perks, but first, let's get the basics out of the way. The Jorum's Claw is a returning adaptive frame energy pulse rifle of the solar variety. You unlock it by ranking up your reputation with Saladin and then focusing engrams for 20,000 glimmer a pop and hoping you get the roll that you want. For base stats, the gun is basically average across the board with a couple of exceptions. The range value is pretty nice at 49 base. Most adaptives are in the upper 30s, low 40s. Syncopation has 46 at base. But in the energy slot, if you want range but don't want to build for it, then you may as well go with the third axiom. The axiom has a lot going for it. It has the same base range value of 49, but the axiom has a zoom value of 18 compared to Jorum's 17. So that's going to give the axiom more than 2 whole meters of extra range before experiencing damage drop-off. Even if your Jorum's Claw has both hammer-forged and ricochet rounds, it still can't reach that same range. This is going to be a theme for the Jorum's Claw. Like I said, jack of all trades, master of none. But let's keep going with the base stats. Jorum's Claw comes in at a 50 base stability. That's less than the Axiom, less than Hailing Confusion, less than Last Perdition, less than Syncopation. It has 44 handling, which is middle of the pack for adaptives. 43 reload speed, again, middle of the pack. And an aim assist value of 60. Now that's on the bottom end for the adaptive family. The recoil direction is 73, a little bit to the left. It's not terrible, and it can be offset with arrowhead, or you could run chambered or extended barrels with a counterbalance mod. So just looking at base stats alone, here's the verdict. The Jorum's Claw isn't the best at anything. It has good base range, and besides that, it's average across the board. Now let's move on to the perk pools, see how we can build this thing to take full advantage of it. There are 3 main ways to build this gun. Let's start with the one for PvE. The Jorum's Claw has Incandescent in the second main perk column. A lot of solar subclass enthusiasts like to build around this perk, but I'm going to give it to you straight. If you're making a solar PvE build and you want to include Incandescent, don't waste your time on this gun. Adaptive pulses aren't really that great in PvE outside of a few exceptions, and as far as Incandescent goes, you can craft a number of weapons with enhanced Incandescent that would serve you a lot better. If you're actually taking the time to make a solar build around Incandescent, you'd almost be crazy to take a Jorum's Claw instead of crafting a much better option. You've got the Battler with enhanced Incandescent, and it can also get Demolitionist or Pugilist in the first column, so you can get a ton of ability energy back depending on your build. Jorum's does not have that. Basically, I'm saying Jorum's is a trash tier weapon for an Incandescent build. Only do that if it's your only option, and only until you can craft a better one. Now let's talk about the other 2 ways to build this gun for PvP. You've got the raw dueling build, and you've got the kill chaining build. If you're going for raw dueling, you might feel drawn to perks like Iron Grip and Iron Reach. Please hear me when I say these are not good perks on this pulse rifle. Iron Reach is basically only good on the Multi-Mach and the Reese Walker. Frankly, it's not even good on the Peace Bond, and I don't know why people are maxing that gun out for range at the expense of stability when it's a disgustingly good dueler with other perk builds. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Iron Reach is going to tank your stability. One of the most important stat values on a pulse rifle is the stability. And this is a massive minus 30 penalty. It's terrible. And then you're going to be using your barrels and your mags and your masterwork slots to try to offset all of that, just for a small gain of 20 range. Listen, you've got the barrel, the mag, the masterwork, all of these things to boost your range. Just, the same amount. You can get that much range, potentially even more, without tanking anything at all. Iron Reach is not only going to hurt your stats, it's also going to take up your damage perk slot too. It's just not good. Iron Grip you might think would be great for raw dueling, and I played with an Iron Grip kill clip roll, which you'll see some of in the gameplay. I didn't hate it, but tanking your bottom line reload speed and then trying to make up for it in other places, it just seems like too much work when you can build for stability without hurting the gun. But beyond those perks, you've got Offhand Strike, not useful on a pulse, honestly. You've got Outlaw, which is okay. There's Gut Shot, which I think is awful on this pulse. That leaves us with Encore and Moving Target. Now, Encore is great for kill chaining. We'll get to that in a second. But for raw dueling, I'm going to recommend Moving Target. It's just always going to be there, always helping, helps you move faster while ADSing, gives you a big boost to aim assist that's equal. By the way, it's equal to the benefits of the Adept targeting mod, but without hurting your stability. In the second column for raw dueling, you've got Head Seeker as the best option. It's just going to be there, working to help you, giving you extra damage and aim assist. So ultimately, if you want to build the gun to just be a good dueler, I'd say Moving Target and Encore is your best bet. The last main way to build the gun would be for kill chaining. In the first column, that's Encore. After getting a kill, you're going to start stacking up big range and stability buffs to help the gun perform even better for follow-up engagements. After the rework, this perk is very, very good. We previously got to play around with this perk on the Stay Frosty pulse rifle, and I loved it. In the second column, you've got both Kill Clip and Golden Tricorn. I played around with both, and I gotta say, Golden Tricorn is the play, regardless of whatever your subclass type is. You don't need the ×2 buff on this perk. You just need the ×1. It's going to let you consistently 2-burst people and has a generous 7-second timer. Kill Clip will give you more damage, sure, but the outcome is still the same. It's a 2-burst kill, while Kill Clip requires a reload and has a 5-second timer. So for consistency and ease of use, Tricorn is the play here. The outcome is the same, and the timer is more generous. Beyond those primary builds for the gun, you can also do like a hybrid and do something like Moving Target and Golden Tricorn. I got that combo myself with a Ricochet and Hammer Forged, and was pleasantly surprised by it. It was very consistent and put a lot of work with it. So, what's the ultimate bottom line verdict on this thing? Well, I'll give it to you straight. The Jorum's Claw feels like it's the kind of pulse rifle that you could get a really nice roll on, and then put it in your vault and let it sit. It's not a bad pulse, and you may find that you really, really like it. But the truth is that it does a lot of things well, but nothing great. If you want a raw dueling pulse, you might like this one, but you'd probably have more success with, a third Axiom with much deeper range for free, and has access to Rangefinder for even more deeper range, and Moving Target, and Zen Moment, and Surplus, and Head Seeker, and more. Or you could craft a Syncopation with enhanced perks, and no farming required. If you want a pulse that's going to chain kills, then yeah, this can do that, but others will do it better. I mean, even the Axiom has Killing Wind and Multi-Kill Clip on the table for 2 bursts from down friggin' town with the built-in extra zoom. It's not in the same family, but frankly, a Messenger can chain kills like an absolute boss and puts the Claw in the ground. So take it or leave it, the Jorum's Claw is a good pulse rifle in a sea of great pulse rifles, while also being one of the least popular subtypes of pulse rifle in the game, and that's the bottom line. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, then please feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe for additional Destiny 2 content. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.